Hello, I hope you're doing well. It has been a while. I took a short break. I'm currently in Vietnam, just sitting outside. I hope it's not too loud. I wanted to do something a little bit different today. I usually sit with my own thoughts and try to make sense of them on my own. But today, I asked my partner to ask me questions I haven't seen before. I don't know what's coming. There is no script, just an honest and maybe also a little bit all over the place conversation. So, yeah, let's start and let's see where it goes. Enjoy.
Hi, everybody. My name is Gift, and I have some questions here for my partner that she hasn't seen yet. And I just want to have, I don't know, maybe this to feel like a conversation, just between us, not an interview, so just answer them however it comes to you. And yeah, so we can start with the first question, you know. How are you and how do you feel right now being in Vietnam?
Okay. Um, I feel grateful um, that I can travel and I can experience different cultures. Um, it's also a bit challenging because it is a bit more chaotic here because of traffic. So I do feel a bit scared at times when I need to cross the road. So I'm still getting used to it. But it has been 2 weeks and I'm still learning. I'm observing and I'm looking forward to it.
Good, good. And do you feel like you are changing or waiting for your life to change?
If you asked me the same question a few years ago, I would say that that I was changing. But nowadays, I'm not so sure because at times it feels like my energy is quite stagnant and I don't see a lot of progress. Um, but at the same time, it feels like a transitional period. So in a way, I'm not sure. I feel a bit lost. That's for sure. Um, but I'm not sure about the change yet. Something is definitely changing. So I would say yes, it is changing, but I'm not sure about the growth yet.
Okay. And is there a part of your life at the moment that feels unfinished?
Um, yeah, I would say that I'm still quite young. I didn't experience life fully, and I still want to do a lot of things. Um, yeah, I'm grateful that I was able to fulfill some of the dreams. I always wanted to travel since I was little, um, and it seemed so distant um, because obviously it was a bit more expensive uh,
Yeah.
when I was a kid, but actually to go around the world and to live this kind of life. Um, so I'm doing that, and it was a big dream of mine. Um, Also coding. In my 30s, I decided to teach myself how to code, and I did that. and this journey ended not long ago, and I will always be grateful um, for this experience. It taught me a lot. But yes, there is more inside of me, um, and I want to experience more.
Okay. In terms of experiences, all I think, is there anything that you're quietly craving most of?
I think I'm craving a bit more structure. Um, what I mean by that is when I quit my coding job, it was a 9 to 5, so I did have that structure. But nowadays, I'm trying to figure out what's next, and sometimes it just feels like I'm wasting a lot of time because I'm not focused on something, um, and I don't feel as productive. So I almost feel guilty in some ways, um, because I'm not used to that. I um, Whenever I had a goal in my head, I would always follow that. But nowadays, I guess I'm kind of struggling with just figuring that out. So what is it that I want to follow? And yeah, there is more layers to it.
Okay. Um, to extend a little bit of that, do you feel like more lost, more free, or somewhere in between at the moment?
I think somewhere in between. I was hoping when I quit my coding job that I would feel um, free, and and I did in a way, but then you also start feeling a bit more confused, because especially if you don't really think about what's next, and and some other things can also surprise you, and
Yeah.
along the way, so you get a bit more confused.
Yeah.
And I guess I didn't anticipate that. Um, so yeah, it can be
Okay.
a bit overwhelming.
Yeah. Okay. And currently, what version of yourself do you feel you're moving towards?
Mm. I think now I feel like I said I'm more stagnant, so I'm not really moving as much, but I'm getting there slowly. Um, so I think the biggest shift needs to happen in my head, in my mind. Um, that's one part that would always either push me or stop me. So I think right now it's preventing me from actually doing what I want, um, or what I desire.
Okay. So you're leaning more towards that.
Yeah, I think right now there's a lot of there's a blockage, and it seems like that hurdle is a bit kind of too big. Um, but at the same time, I can see myself um, overcoming that.
Okay.
I just need a bit more time. But in some ways, you also feel guilty because you don't want to just waste time. I also feel like I need to do things. I need to think about what's next, what's my next move. Um,
Right.
so yeah, it can be a bit more challenging. to, because you try to, you in a way, you, it's almost like you want to understand yourself a bit better, but you can't, because first you
Right.
need to figure out what is there, what's inside of you, what do you want,
Yeah.
what do you truly want. uh, so I want to
Okay.
follow that, what I truly want.
Okay. Just to expand on that, when do you feel most like yourself?
uh, when I feel good, and by good I mean when I feel good inside and outside. I think if I feel good inside, it's gonna be reflected on the outside as well. um, when I can give and receive love, when I'm creating good relationships, um, when I'm abundant, but not in it just when it comes to financials. It goes deeper than that. When in a way I'm glowing. I have that certain glow and energy
Okay.
that feeds me, and also it feeds other people around me.
Right. Okay. And what about the opposite of that? When do you feel the furthest away, from yourself?
Yeah, I would say when I don't feel good. And that's when I feel a bit confused, and I think I'm at this stage right now when I feel a bit more trapped, and I don't feel like I'm inside of my body or inside of my head, which sounds weird, but it just sometimes it just feels like that. um, and when you can't understand what's going on there, when you can't even kind of, you know, as people we create stories, and when you can't even create that story for yourself, I think that's when kind of you feel more confused, and it adds to it.
Okay.
um, yeah, you feel more vulnerable, but at the same time it almost feels like a lot of things are going against you.
Right. Okay. And is there like a specific thing that you're trying to understand about yourself?
um, yeah, this change that's happening right now. uh, I was talking about it before, but I just didn't open up as much, because it's still something that I'm struggling with, and it's this hormonal drop. So basically, I'm not sure if I'm in perimenopause, or I guess in some ways it feels like I am, because of the anxiety that I'm feeling on a kind of daily basis, and um, also other symptoms that I'm experiencing. So it can be a bit scary because, yeah, you just feel like, or it just feels like you're floating. You're not even there. And it takes a lot of effort to be present, and to make sense of things, and to make sense of whatever is going on inside of you. Um, and I think when you don't understand that, your body, your mind, um, it gets harder. It gets harder to actually follow your dreams, or to go for things, or to even give more love, or receive more love. um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Earlier you mentioned about if like something, I guess your life is more like on standstill, stagnant, and at the same time there's changes happening. What kind of person do you think you're becoming?
Uh, that's the hard part. There is um, there's a separation going on right now, because obviously I have this version inside of me that I always wanted to be that version, and it feels like it's gonna take ages for me to get there. So right now it just feels like I'm just a person who is trying to figure something out, and not that kind of person who is moving toward those goals, which can be quite discouraging because obviously you want um, to follow that version, the one who is moving, not the one who is just stagnant.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Um, is there anything creative you feel, that is I guess, pulling you towards it?
Yeah, in some ways, when I look back, I was always craving that. I always wanted to be creative, either with words or with clothes or with something. That's why I guess coding was, and it wasn't a surprise in a way. It's I did front end, so it was really visual and also quite creative. And I always go for something like that. Um, but yeah, I haven't tried everything. Um,
Yeah. Okay. And when do you realize you care a lot about style, clothes and stuff like that?
it was one defining moment, I guess, when I was a kid. It wasn't. It was a bit more defining than others. We would visit my grandma. She lived in Croatia, and we would go there for summer holidays.
Mm.
And she wasn't wearing a lot of things. She was wearing like the same clothes every single day. So obviously, a lot of she had like a huge wardrobe, and I would just go there and you know browse for things because we would do this show where I would be a TV presenter, and
Okay.
my sister, and my cousin, they would kind of do other parts, and we would do these shows for our relatives, So,
Yeah.
and obviously, a TV presenter needs to look certain ways. So I would try to find really, really good items in there.
Yeah.
Something that would kind of make me stand out.
Wow. Yeah.
And yeah, she had a lot of those kind of good quality items in there. And it felt good just wearing those clothes and actually transforming yourself into somebody who is more confident.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. And do you feel like creative ideas come from confidence, pain, curiosity, or something?
I think at least for me, it's both. I think in order for me to feel really creative, I need to be in pain. I need to actually be quite low, which is, I guess, not that great. But if I'm if I'm there, I guess then I can rise, and in a way, I get stronger and also maybe more bold, and more willing to take action. So in some weird way, I just need to be at my lowest, I guess, in order to go for my highest.
Yeah. Mm. Okay. And what has shaped your tastes the most?
Taste in terms of what?
Clothing.
All of the travels, I would say, it's so amazing when you travel and you see, especially like places like Japan or even here in Vietnam, but definitely like Japan, Korea as well. When you see the way people express themselves,
Mm,
it's amazing, and I'm always in awe. I try to copy some of the things, but sometimes it doesn't go that well. Because I think you need to have certain aura to carry or to wear or to carry that style to wear those clothes. Um,
right.
so I would say, yeah, just traveling around, observing people's styles, and yeah, that would be. And also, when I was a kid, I was always I would always try to do something different. So I think I kind of had it in me, but yeah, um,
Okay.
but I'm not sure if that, like, I don't know, is as well. I don't consider it as creative as when I see the way people dress, for example, in Japan. I think it's just, it's something else. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think? What does clothes, I guess, mean to you beyond just looking good?
Uh, it gives you that certain edge, power, but I would say with power, you need to be really careful because when some people wear, let's say, really premium items, they can be really entitled, which is something that I personally really dislike. I loathe kind of those people who feel that they can just look down on other people just because they can afford um, those premium brands. Um, but yeah, it gives you edge. It gives you that aura. It gives you the confidence to just carry on. To yeah.
Okay. If you were to build like something,
Mm.
say clothes in this sense, um, what feeling would you want women to have when they wear it?
Yeah, I think, well, I believe I would really like them to feel, to feel not just confident, but more than that. When they look at themselves in the mirror, they would gasp because that's the version that they desire. That's the version that's in front of them, the version that can do anything.
Mm, interesting. And is there anything you're scared of to admit out loud right now?
Um, yeah, I think nowadays I'm more afraid to waste time. I think I think more about me as a human being mortal, and I don't want to just waste time. But at the same time, I don't want to rush life, and I don't want to just rush things and do whatever doesn't make me feel happy because that's going against me. So I'm not sure what's worse, to have a miserable life but and a long life, or to have a really um, joyful and fulfilling life. But maybe that one is gonna be a bit shorter. I think I would choose the second one,
Okay.
not the first one. Yeah.
Of future. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Um, I have another question. There's a few more.
Mhm.
Um, yes. What do you overthink the most?
Mm. Well, I'm an overthinker by nature, so
Yeah.
I don't think I ever stopped overthinking. So since I was born.
Well, is there anything specific, I guess, in that
Yeah,
sense?
I think nowadays I'm a bit more scared of everything, which kind of scares me as well. Um, Even scared of my own thoughts.
Right.
Um, yeah, even when I go to bed, for example, sometimes I can't really fall asleep, and it takes me 4 or 5 hours to actually uh, to do that. So
Yeah.
because of everything that's going on in my head, and it just feels it's too much at times.
Yeah.
It's too much for me, and if it's too much for me, it can also overwhelm other people, you as well. So um, yeah, um,
What would you do if you trusted yourself more?
I would think I would definitely go for things sooner rather than later. I wouldn't wait for that stage where I'm at my lowest, but I would do things when I'm still kicking. Um,
Yeah. It's the only time.
yeah,
Mm, okay. I guess the next one is more about like future questions. You
hmm
know, what kind of life are you trying to build at the moment?
I think right now I just want to kind of exit the stage that I'm in and try to be more positive, more balanced,
Okay.
to have a bit more structure and to just to go for things, to also be a bit more productive um, and I want to enjoy life a bit more as well.
Okay. To follow up to that, what does success look like to you if no one is watching?
Uh,
By
mhm.
yourself, what do you think, success looks like?
I think, or yeah, it has changed. Before I would maybe go for this traditional uh, version of success. Um, but yeah, if right now it's when I actually go for what I want to uh, achieve, when I don't let anyone stop me, and when I build that success that's success in my eyes and not in someone else's eyes.
Yeah.
So it's not the interpretation of somebody else or their interpretation of my success, but it's my interpretation of my own success. So when it's really aligned with what I want to achieve, with what I desire, what I want to go for,
Okay.
and yeah,
Okay. What about peace? How does that look like? What would a peaceful life look like for you?
when I'm comfortable with the choices that I'm making. So when I don't feel unease in that sense, um, when I know whatever path I took, I made that choice.
Mm.
Even if it doesn't lead to desired results, I can still be at peace.
What would make you proud 1 year from now?
Oh, it feels like such a long period, but it's also a really short one. So, I, generally speaking, just the concept of being proud is not something that I guess I do. I rarely pause and kind of say those things. So it's also something that I guess I'm working on. So right now it would be really hard for me to answer that one.
Fair enough. And we reached the final question. So, just one more,
Okay.
and that will be the end of this one.
All right.
If this is the beginning of a new chapter, what would you want this chapter to feel like?
I guess I want it to feel new, to be an exciting chapter where I'm learning how to actually maybe accept life a bit more. Because I think I want to control a lot of things. I want to control the narrative a bit too much at times. So I want this chapter to feel like I'm letting go of that.
Yeah.
But there's also excitement. There is movement. And process. I don't want to be just focused on results.
Yeah.
I want to be focused on the journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was good. Yeah, I think that's all. That's the best place to, I don't know, to finish for now. Thank you for being open and answering with honesty. I like hearing when you answer without overthinking too much. I think that was great.
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, thank you for having me.
Thank you for preparing those questions and for being here today.
No worries at all. It was fun.
Yeah, and thank you. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being here. I hope you have a lovely week. Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye bye.